Hello, I'm Andy Friedlander, looking back at the latest BoxNation action replay. The first of our two live shows found us back at York Hall in London's East End. John Dignam opened the entertainment in only his second pro outing with an ambitious fight against Sheffield's Lee Noble. Lightning Lee flashed out from the first bell and Dignam tried to weather this early storm, but the 25-year-old didn't let up and Dignam was on the deck.
Oh, good shot, good right hand, and Dignam down.
A 10-8 round is not easy to fight back from, but Dignam did his best.
Dignam needs to be throwing more shots like that. That was good work. He needs to be doing more of that.
But his inexperience showed again in the third when Noble caught him flat-footed.
Oh, down again.
There was only one way back for Dignam, but he couldn't find a big enough shot, and this banana skin fight slipped him up.
And victory indeed goes, as it had to with those two knockdowns, to Lee Noble.
I've shocked everybody, haven't I? That's what I like to do. I've done well, yeah, I'm happy.
Next, the eagerly awaited debut of Mitchell Smith. After a stellar amateur career, a lot was expected from the 19-year-old, and he delivered in style. Smith displayed a skill set normally associated with a seasoned champ. He wobbled his Scottish opponent in the first round.
Oh, good shot again.
I really shook him up.
Downed him in the second.
That's a nice right hand, lovely shot. Really, really good shot from Smith. Planted his feet, well timed, and the knockdown is given.
And didn't let up in the third.
Oh, and Ancliffe doesn't want to be shipping those, and he's in trouble there on those ropes. Trying bravely to try and fight back, but Mitchell is really uncorking a big attack here. Kenny Curtis having a good look. The towel had come in anyway, and he stopped the fight in the third round.
What a pro debut. Smith beat a tough opponent in Ancliffe, and on this performance, we may just have had the first glint of a real star in the making.
Great people around me that's supporting me, and my sponsors. I want it so bad that I'm gonna give it my all.
Another debutant on the night was middleweight Tom Baker. Trainer Mark Tibbs had obviously set up the 20-year-old very, very well, and he didn't put a foot wrong against southpaw Danny Brown.
Oh, no, that's two good right hands, good hand speed.
Brown had little answer as Baker pressed forward.
Well, some good action in the closing 30 seconds of this last round.
A solid start to his pro career and that first crucial win under his belt.
And, you know, he's got everything working for him, but he's got a great ability and he must stick to the ability. He loves a tear-up on all.
In bout 4, Lewis Pettitt took on an opponent 4 inches taller, but that didn't seem to matter as the unbeaten super featherweight started to bully the bigger man.
Yeah, he's just looking to bully Reed into the ropes and wail away.
It was an electrifying start from Pettitt.
But he's just come straight out again, John, and guns blazing.
Even when Reed began to find the target, Pettitt had the answer.
Well, he just had to absorb a couple of shots from Reed there.
All credit to Reed, who made him work hard, and the packed house enjoyed some toe-to-toe action as the tiring Pettitt chalked up his 8th successive victory.
There goes the final bell. They know that it was a tough one. Pettitt reaches for the referee's hand.
I'll give £11 away. I could feel the weight a little tiny bit. He couldn't really punch, but I'm happy anyway. I put in a good performance. It's hot in here and the extra weight was just killer.
WBO Intercontinental Champion Stephen Smith was back on BoxNation in an international matchup against Jose Luis Graterol. Swifty lived up to his nickname as he set about the Venezuelan in the early rounds.
But now here comes Smith. He's got him where he wants to be again.
It was a controlled rather than a devastating display from Smith, probably because Graterol seemed happier to hold on than get involved in a fight.
He'd just love this guy just to open up and try and risk a bit more.
A shutout for Smith, who did find some benefits from a rather frustrating evening.
So the main thing was get me rounds back under my belt. As long as I keep winning and keep performing, then there's nothing I can do more than that.
At York Hall, it was time to turn up the volume as Frank Buglioni made his entrance to take on Scunthorpe hardman Jody Meikle. Cheered on by his fantastic fans, Buglioni came out banging.
That's a good right hand from Buglioni. Now can he follow it up?
But Meikle is made of tough stuff. After being cut in the third, he still managed to take everything Frank had to offer with a smile and a few shots of his own.
Nice left hand from Meikle.
Buglioni piled back in but couldn't get Meikle out of there, and the final round turned into a good old-fashioned tear-up.
So I learned a little bit from that, and hopefully it showed not getting caught so much, coming back with counters, but it's a long, slow process, and I'm in it for the long haul.
The main event saw Billy Joe Saunders defending his Commonwealth Middleweight title against Newport's Bradley Pryce. Saunders started strongly, outboxing and maybe outgunning his very experienced opponent.
That's nice. Good work from Saunders. Lovely variety of shots.
The accuracy of Billy Joe's jabs was plain for all to see.
And look at that jab. Beautiful. Poetry.
Pryce's bravery was never in question, but Saunders' punch-perfect performance was something to behold.
Oh, quality from Saunders.
It was courage versus ability, but as hard as the Welshman tried, it was the hand speed and accuracy of Saunders that scored a complete shutout victory.
But the game plan has been to keep it at range, to work behind that jab, and he has produced it absolutely to perfection.
It shows me how much I've got to dig for this title, and I don't think anybody's going to be taking this title off me anytime soon. That's all I'm going to go now, with the warrants bigger than further, and that's it. I'm looking for the big fights.
Saturday night on BoxNation, and we were off to Carson in California as Winky Wright returned after a 4-year absence to take on unbeaten Peter Quillin, and what a fight it was. Quillin stumbled right in the first and went on to dominate the early rounds.
Uppercut landing for Quillin.
Winky was down by a stinging right hand in the fifth, but he was far from out. The future Hall of Famer showed his tenacity, and by taking the fight back to Quillin, put on a real show.
Fighter, nice left hand by Winky Wright.
Wright has never been stopped, and as hard as Quillin tried, he couldn't find the shot to end the action early.
Oh, uppercut, hurt Winky Wright, and he's in trouble. Quillin looking to finish him.
Winky battled out the latter stages, but it was Quillin who remained unbeaten after 10 pulsating rounds. IBO cruiserweight champ Antonia Tava had been called out by undefeated Nigerian Latif Coyote, and it was clear there was absolutely no love lost between the two of them. Coyote took the early rounds with precision and with power, but Tava had promised body shots, and that's what he began to deliver.
Straight left hand to the body.
It was turning into a classic as both men piled in.
Oh, nice straight left hand on the button for Tava.
Tava caught the Nigerian in the 7th, staggered him in the 8th, and landed 2 beauties in the 9th.
Straight left hand again by Tarver. Oh, beautiful left hand, and then backs up Coyote, who's in trouble.
Coyote countered as the fight entered the championship rounds. The result was in the balance.
That's Coyote coming back.
Both did their best, but there was nothing between them in the final 6 minutes, and both thought they had done enough by the final bout.
And they both think they won this fight, and it may well be a very close decision.
The decision is even a draw.
So it was Tava who retained his title after 12 terrific rounds of boxing. Take a look at BoxNation.com for details of what we've got lined up before the big one, Hay versus Chisora at Upton Park on July the 14th. I'm Andy Friedlander. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.